Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs. Today I thought I'd show you how to make my little Sunburn Sally, or Sally Sunburn. People were asking me when I did my little tutorial, the review on the solar bands, which I have here. Oh, I've got an open packet here, let me show you. I did my review on them and I made my little character out of the clear ones. And they were like, oh, can you show me how to do that? So we're going to use the solar bands, and they're the moon ones, okay, which are clear, and they turn pink in sunlight. So we're going to use those. I'm going to actually not do her in a little skirt. I'm going to do her like she's in a little bikini, and we won't put shoes on her either. We're going to have brown for her hair, 2 of the mini pony beads for her eyes. These are 4mm by 7mm. You can choose whatever colour you want for the bows for her hair and for her bikini. And we are going to do the crafty ladybug technique, which is hair at the back of her head, okay, which I think is a much nicer look. So we're going to get started by doing the hair at the back of her head, and I'm going to use brown bands for that. Again, you can use whatever colour you like. If you've got you know, yellow bands or black bands, whatever, white bands, it doesn't matter, it's up to you. We're going to do a single loom. It's going to be in the offset configuration, so columns 1 and 3 are going to be slightly lower than column 2. The open part of the peg is facing towards you, or the arrow, I'm going to just change the angle of my camera a bit, the arrow is facing towards you. You can see I've got my little arrow there, that's facing towards. We're going to be double banding, and double banding means you take 2 bands at the same time and you place them on the pegs together, and it gives your figure a stronger, more robust feel. It's sort of less floppy, which is the preferred way. Now I have to admit, when I do bracelets, I usually, you know, if I'm doing a fishtail or something like that, I'll double band and give it a bit of a strength to it. So we're placing our bands for the back of our hair. So this centre one, we come down 3, and then either side we come down 2, and then we're going to join them from the centre to the left and from the centre to the right. There we go, from centre to the right, centre to the left. Try and make sure that they're not too twisted. Sometimes when they twist on themselves, it can look a bit nasty. You're going to put 2 for the back of the neck here, and then take a single and stretch it across these 3 pegs like a triangle. It's going to be our crossover band. And we're going to take a single, wrap it around a hook once and twice. We're going to use that as an end cap here. Now, before we put our next crossover, we're going to put Piggy Tails for her. So, take a single band, wrap once and twice, and we're going to slide onto 3 pair. So here's our first pair, second pair, and our third pair, just like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift up the top of this peg here, of these bands, and slide it on, like that, okay? Let's do the same for the other side. Single, wrap it once and twice, slide onto your first pair, slide it onto your second pair, and slide onto your third pair. Now, I cannot stress enough, now that summer is upon us in this hemisphere, how important wearing sunscreen is, how important putting a hat on is, how important wearing a shirt with longer sleeves, covering the back of your neck. So it's all very well wearing a baseball cap. What about the back of your neck? Okay, it's really, really important with the way that you know, the sun can do so much damage nowadays. You really have to protect your skin. Single band, stretch it across for your crossover band here. Okay. Now, we have this little end cap here. We're going to put our hook under the end cap and grab, sorry, let's go through, grab these 2 bottom bands and pull up and loop above us. Grab the first 2 bands and loop to the side, the next 2 bands, loop to their side, the middle you can loop up once and twice, and then for these side ones you can loop up once. Alright, Oh, there's one band. Let's go back and find the other. There it is. Okay, push everything down because we're going to do another layer now on top. And this is where we're going to use our solar bands. As I said, they are the moon solar. They're clear. So she is going to look like she's rather translucent, but that's okay. 2. You're skipping from peg 1 to 2 on each of them. So I like to start in the middle. Then either side. There's my first pair, and there's the next pair. Then we go down. I'm going to do from here to here. Now I like to do my chin bit next, my jaw. So from the centre to the right, from the centre to the left, and then the neck, like this. Now it's very important with this neckband, you want to grab these brown bands that are underneath here. Okay, you use those and you're going to lift them up and over so that they sit on top of those neck bands. That's really important because it ties the back of the hair in to the face to stop it from flapping around. Okay, next we're doing a crossover band, so a single, stretch it across, and now we're doing eyes. I like to take a single and twist it once, twice and 3 times and place across, and that is to stop the beads from falling to the back of the head. Now if you don't have beads, that's perfectly fine, you can use bands. So you take a single band and wrap it once, whoops, once, twice, 3 times and 4 times, and take another one, wrap it once, twice, 3 times and 4 times. Okay, and you would slide these are the equivalent of 2 beads. You'd slide them onto your skin tone band, or in this case our solar band, just like I'm going to with the beads. Okay, and you keep them either side and you position them like this, just like I'm going to show you with the beads. So with the beads, you again take them on to your band, place them so that one is either side, just like I said with this. If you're doing this, you'd have one either side, and then poke your hook through the centre of that band and put the top part of the band above, so it's sitting on this peg. Okay, the reason we do that is so that it kind of acts like a crossover band, which is quite good. Now we're going to move down. We're going to do from the centre to the right. This is for her shoulders. Centre, oops, let's get this right, centre to the left, and we move down like this. Now we're going to use our purple. These are I'm using a Rainbow Loom purple, but you can use whatever colour you like. We're going to do 2 for the shoulder straps, and we'll do 1 for the centre, and then 1 more either side. For the chest area, we're going to do 2 in the solar. I want to say skin tone. I suppose it is skin tone. It's just translucent skin tone. 1 here. And 1 here. We're going to do 1 more. Have a look here. I've got 2. Okay. So 1 more either side. Now we're going to do a pair of purple in the centre. Pair of purple to the right. Pair of purple to the left. We're going to do 1 more pair of purple down here, and then we're going to do from the centre to the right, and from the centre to the left. We're also going to put an end cap on this peg here. So take a single, wrap it once and twice, and just pop that on the end here. We're going to do the last 3 pegs in the translucent solar. And we're going to do feet, bare feet. I think it would be a little nicer looking than great big black clodhoppers. So to do the feet, we're just going to do them as we would normally. Take 2 put them on the end of your hook, wrap once and twice, and slide onto 2. Move them over, pretty them up. You don't want them to be too tangled, so pretty them up. Don't reclaim. You're going to take another 2 and wrap once and twice, and then reclaim. Take another 2 and slide all of this on. I tend to do the first 2 bands, then the wrapped band, and then the next 2 bands. Reclaim, angle the foot, and it's going to go on the end of this little leg here. Make sure you've got all loops on, like so. Let's do the other foot. Take 2, wrap once and twice, slide onto, see, another 2. Don't reclaim yet. Take another 2, wrap once and twice. Now you can reclaim. Now we're going to take 2 and slide all of this on. So there's 1, there's the wrapped band, and there's the other. Now reclaim, angle your foot the other way, and that's going to go on here. You need to do arms. We're going to do those the same way. We're going to do a single band, wrap once and twice, same way as normal I should say, and you will slide onto a pair, and then you're going to do 4 more pairs, so you have 5 pair in total for the arms. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, and we'll pop that on one shoulder, and again here, wrap once and twice, slide on, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Get this out of the way, we'll move it to this side. Now we must do our crossover bands. If we don't do crossover bands, she's going to fall apart all over the place. So, single band, and you're going to just stretch it across these 3 pegs like a triangle. Move to the next, again, purple, and slide up. Now I'm using purple because if you look here, these 2 are the predominant colours, so purple goes well. Now for this one I'm going to use the solar bands, but I'm going to give her a waist, so I'm going to stretch it, figure 8, loop on itself, so it's a capped band, and that's to bring her waist in a bit. And then here I'm going to do purple, stretch across, purple, stretch across. Okay, let's see how our little girl is going to look as we loop her up. Give myself a bit of space. Right, so what I'm going to do first is pull back the leg and grab these 2 bottom bands on her foot and loop them up either side. Alright, loop up and loop up. When we've looped these solar bands up, we're going to dig down here past that end cap and grab the 2 top purple bands, and I've got one and the other has gone walkabout, so I'm going to find that other one. There it is, see it? I'm going to go back through my end cap, grab that little band that tried to run away and loop it in. So there's no drama. If you drop a band, you can usually get it back, and I don't want it twisted, so let's try and pretty that up. There we go. Go back and find the next 2 top bands. Here they are. We'll loop those to their side, and the centre one up and up. As I said, I'm not doing the little flared skirt, I'm just going to do bikini. Dig down, push so that you're pushing all the other bands out the way and you're just grabbing those 2 bottom ones. I grabbed one, let's grab the other. You want the crossover band completely pushed back to give you space. And where you have a capped band, it's a little tighter, but still doable. You're looking for the teardrop shape that this forms when you've looped it. And if you've got all teardrops, then you know you've done a good job. I'm going to loop up to the shoulder blades. Not shoulder blades, the shoulders. And now we're going to go from side to side, and then we'll loop these ones up last. You can loop this one, but this one we want to be last. So push the arm back. Sometimes you need to hold it out the way, just stretch it a little bit to find the bands. Okay. Make sure you've got both and loop those in. Okay. Now you mustn't forget, you need to loop this one in as well. These two. Loop those in. Now we have the fun bit of the face. Dig all the way down. You're finding 2 bands. And loop them up, and they go on top, so this, you're not going to see the brown bands being looped here. Now you're going for the 2 top, loop them to their side, and the next 2, try and be careful that you only get the 2 that you need and not an added little joyrider. Now these can always be tricky because you've got to push the brown bands back. Okay, so I tend to go to the side a bit, grab those 2. I grabbed 1, but never mind, we'll grab the other. You want to make sure though that you're not grabbing the brown bands too, just the skin tone. This center one can loop up. Now we're going to loop up these 2 side ones on either side, like so. What we're going to do for the face, for the piggy tails, we're going to dig down, grab the 2 bands. Now you have to go past the bands for the eyes, just the 2 bottom bands. Bring them up like so. Hold them to one side. You're going to push your hook through the loops on your piggy tail, okay? And pop these 2 on the end of your hook. Stretch out the piggy tail just a little bit so you can pull those through like that. So the pigtail is on the end here. Now these are going to be high piggy tails, okay? If we do the same on the other side, make sure you get both bands. And again, I'm going to hold these. I'm going to push my hook through the loops on here, through the loops on the pigtail. Grab my 2 bands. Now if I turn this around and stretch it, it gives me a better angle. And I can pop those here. We're going to do the side and the side, and then we'll do the center, and we're going to tie off with 2 brown bands. So 2 brown bands, you're going to push your hook through out the side here. You've got all of those on your hook, okay? Put the 2 bands on. Now I twist my hook as I do this so that the back side of the hook is going against where these bands are, so I don't snag them. Pull it to the back side of the peg, one over the other, and pull tight. Now the other thing I do is I use a metal hook that has no, like this hook has the shape and everything, and some have like a softer cushioning. You don't want that really. If you have a metal hook, or if you've bought those bags of bands that have those little plastic hooks in, that's a good idea as well. You can use them to just gently ease your figure off your loom. And the last thing you want to do is snap a band as you're taking your figure off the loom. That would be really upsetting. So this just kind of gently eases her off. If you were just dealing with 1 or 2 bands, that's fine. But when you're dealing with sometimes 6 bands or more, it's like, no, I need to be a little bit gentle. So this is our little Sunburn Sally, or Sally Sunburn. In her bikini, I pull the arms up and down just to get that looking right. Now for her hair, you can make her pigtails longer. I've just done her as if she was a little girl with piggy tails out the side. If you wanted to make them longer, go for it. Not a problem at all. Take your hook and you're going to hide these by putting your hook between the brown bands and the skin bands. pushing your hook up to the center here like that. Grab these bands, the loops on the end of your hook so you can capture them. Oh, there we go. And gently ease them back inside the head, okay, so that they're hidden. So you're not going to really see those. Okay. And the other thing you want to do is bows. And all I did for a bow, I hold on to the piggy tail, and I put the band on my finger and on my hook, and all I want to do is tie a knot. Now, as you know, I am horrible at tying knots, so I have to hold the pigtail, hold the other, and you're just tying a knot. Oh, I wish I could do knots. There we go. There we go. So there's one. Now you can just leave it at one if you want it to be a little bit more secure. I know, I'm putting you through hell making you see me do this. Do it again. Okay, and there you've got your little bow in her hair. Let's do the same on the other side. So you're not putting your hook through anything, you're just putting it under the pigtail like this. And you've got to try and hold the pigtail. Alright, like this. Do one knot. Did I make that too low? Squidge it up a bit. And then let's do our second knot. There we go. So there's her little piggy tails. Here she is in her bikini, ready for summer. She needs to slip, slop, slap and put some sunscreen on. Otherwise she's going to get burnt to a crisp. And I'm going to go outside and show you what happens if you don't put sunscreen on. 1 second. So it's not exactly sunny at the minute, but you can see what's happening to her. Look at that. So please promise me that you all put your sunscreen on. Alright, take care. Bye.